Trey. We're really excited to have you here. And Will Guillory, would you like to start us off first, please?
Recording in progress.
Sure thing. What's up, Trey? This is Will from the Athletic, man. Just were you surprised at all to see the Pels select you? Was that one of the teams you thought were going to take you? Just walk us through your thoughts, when the pick came through.
Well, the Pelicans, they've always showed me a lot of love throughout the entire process. And, my agent, he was saying that the Pelicans really like you a lot. And so then moving back to 17 was pretty good for my case. And they were saying that I was in pretty good standing with them going into the draft. And so I had a good feeling about New Orleans at 17, when it came to that time. And then I got the call from my agent and I knew what time it was.
Hey, man, Christian Clark with Null.com here. One of the things Trajan said last night was, you wanted to be here, and that was one of the things they liked about you, among many things. What about this situation do you think is appealing to you?
Really, just speaking basketball-wise, you got guys like Zion and Brandon Ingram, they're going to attract 1.5 guys. And so when I'm able to space the floor and give those guys even more room to operate, then if my man goes to help, they're able to kick out and it's going to be a knockdown three. And so, just looking at that aspect and then being around a team that's a young core, it brings a lot of life to the city, as well as, there's a lot of energy on the court and in the arena. And so I'm really excited to get on the floor with those guys.
Hey, Trey, this is Andrew Lopez from ESPN. Can you just describe your game just a little bit? Obviously, we know a little bit about the shooting, but how much pride do you take on the defensive end and trying to really be that kind of true, 3-and-D type guy?
Yeah, I try to do everything on the court, and I want to make sure I don't have any deficiencies in my game. And so playing defense was something that I didn't do for my entire life, I'll be honest with you. But going to Virginia, you have to play defense. And so I took a lot of pride in it being there, and, we repped it out a lot. And so I became a much better defender, and now I enjoy playing defense a lot. And so I know that's going to be something that'll keep me on the floor. Obviously, my shooting will get me there, but keeping me on the floor will be my defense.
How much, when you did decide to transfer, how much did Virginia's, rep for having guys who defend and putting guys in the league like that have to do with what where you end up wanting to go?
It was probably a top 3 reason for why I went to Virginia. I knew that if I wanted to become a better NBA prospect, I would have to defend at a higher level. And so going to the best defensive school in America was my best option. And then playing the ACC country, where I grew up my entire life, just made it a much easier decision.
Hey, Trey, you mentioned that sounds like the Pelicans were pretty high on you from the start of the whole process, and you've been able to get familiar with the organization and people in the front office recently. So obviously it sounds like you're excited about coming to this team. Are there elements of coming to New Orleans as far as the city that you're looking forward to? I know that you're kind of from the South.
I love food. So that is something that will be very appealing to me. And so I'm very excited for the beignets as well as the gumbo. And, I'm very excited for that. I'm not going to do it in too much. I'm not going to eat it too much because obviously it's not the healthiest thing to eat, but I'm definitely going to be getting my fair share.
Hey, Trey, this is Ed from the ABC affiliate in New Orleans. Being on the floor with Zion at the same time, how many open threes do you think that kind of leads to, and how much are you looking forward to having a guy like that in the low post who is drawing so much attention?
Yeah, when somebody has gravity like that and they're able to pass so well and see the floor, it just makes it so much easier for guys like me. And I feel like my cutting ability is also something that's going to be, beneficial to Zion. And so my man might be ball watching and I'm able to cut back door and get a dunk, or, just spotting up at the 3-point line and being able to space the floor for him is pretty important. So I'm really excited to play with, all the guys, and especially somebody with a polarizing gravity like him.
Hey, Trey, Rod Walker with the Times-Picayune. What have the last 24 hours sort of been like for you, just going from getting your name called to up until this Zoom call? What's it been like?
In all honesty, I was very calm the entire day. I didn't really have too much like emotion. I wasn't really nervous. But then when it got to about like 7:50 or so, and I saw like NBA draft on the TV screen, that's when I started to get like a little nervous. I was doing like the little foot tap and all that. And it's like, I mean, I didn't really have any control over the situation, so there was no real reason to be nervous. But at the end of the day, it's still something you look forward to like for your entire life. And so just waiting to hear your name called is a dream come true.
Did you sleep at all last night?
Yeah. Well, actually, no, I was up because I was so excited. But I mean, I got some good sleep though.
Hey Trey, Christian Clark, one more for you. I read that you were 5'8" as a high school freshman. At what point in your life did you think that the NBA was a possibility for you?
My sophomore year in college. Yeah,
that's pretty late.
Yeah, pretty late. Yeah, it was pretty late. Going into my sophomore year, I gained a lot of weight and added a lot of strength to my body. I was at 200 pounds, and I just looked at the draft class and I looked at the guys that were, getting drafted really high, and I was like, I don't see where I couldn't be in that same position. And so I was really looking forward to that opportunity.
It was a Trey. Do you see yourself as a guy who can guard 1 through 4 at the next level? And if so, what does it take to be successful in that kind of role?
100%. I mean, I definitely think I can guard 1 through 4. And what it takes to be successful is that you have to watch a lot of film, which is something that I really enjoy doing. And then, you got to give a lot of effort. But at the end of the day, like, it's basketball, and your job on defense is just to make it tough and make them make tough shots. And sometimes you're just going to have to live with that. And so I feel like I'm going to make it tough on every single person that I guard.
Hey, Trey, going back to, I mean, kind of like the transfer and a little bit to Rod's question, what has the last year been like? Because, I mean, did you expect to be in the draft this year and going through the process this year, or was it did you expect to be at Virginia a little bit longer?
1 year ago was July 30th, and I want to say I was probably like 2 weeks into the summer workouts, and my mindset was I'm redshirting, preparing to get stronger, and go into the season, just really focused. And, got to practice, and I was one of the best players on the floor. And so I was approached by the assistant coach, and he was just saying, look, I mean, we would enjoy to have you this year because we feel like you could really contribute and we could do something really special this year. And so it was definitely like roller coasters, I would say. And just going from, okay, you're not playing, to flipping that switch, like, all right, get ready to play this game, was really tough, but really fun though.
Going back to when you put your name in the draft, did you expect to finish out the process? What kind of, I guess, obviously you got some good feedback, but what were you expecting when you originally put your name in?
When I originally put my name in, I was, still wanting to make sure I kept my eligibility and wanted to make sure I wasn't making the wrong decision. But 2 weeks into the process, like, I knew where this was going, and I just saw how my confidence was super high. My mindset had changed, and I just became just a different player throughout my time in Miami. And I knew where it was heading.
Hey, Trey, 3 years in college, 2 different schools. Do you think that prepared you and maybe gives you an advantage over maybe some rookies who, don't have that length of experience in the college game? And how did that benefit you, do you think?
No, it benefited me a ton. The stuff I knew my freshman year, if I would have known that now, I might not have been in college for 3 years. But I mean, just so many game experiences that you learn, and different little things that you learn about the game that just takes time, I feel like is super invaluable. And I definitely feel like that will be something that I have an edge over, a lot of the younger guys, even though I still feel like I'm young. People label me as like an old guy to an extent, but it's like I just turned 21, and I feel like I have a lot of career ahead of me.
Hey, Trey, going back to your growth spurt, I guess, when did that happen? And I know your dad played ball at East Carolina. Like, how tall is your dad? And were you ever worried that you weren't going to get any taller?
My dad is like 6'3" on a good day. And my mom, she's 5'8". And so they're pretty tall. And I would say my growth spurts happened all throughout, like from high school, from ninth grade all the way till now. I mean, I was 5'8" as a freshman, 6 feet sophomore year, 6'3" going into my junior year, 6'5" senior year, and just progressively like growing like 2 inches or so. So I mean, it hasn't really stopped like that.
All right, Trey, that'll do it for today. Really appreciate your time and can't wait to have you down here in New Orleans.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hello?
There we go. There, I got you now. Perfect. All right. Well, really excited to have you down here in New Orleans. I'm going to let the local media in, and we're going to get started here. You ready to go?
Yes, sir.
Sounds good. Give me 1 second.
Recording in progress.
All right, everybody. Sorry about the short delay there. We will get started here with Herbert. Jim Eichenhofer, will you lead us off, please?
Sure. I know we always focus on in basketball, we always focus on scoring and offense and that kind of thing, but obviously you contributed in a bunch of different other ways. You're defensive player of the year in the SEC. In this process of leading up to the draft, how much did teams talk to you just about the importance of all the other different things that you do?
Well, they talked to me about it a lot, and they told me that my shooting, it would come with time and reps, and just to keep trying to perfect everything I do well right now and continue to work on my jump shot.
It was up, Herb. This is Will from The Athletic. Obviously, coming here to New Orleans, one of your former teammates is here, Kyra Lewis. Just have you talked to him yet about coming here, and just how excited are you to play with him again?
Oh yeah, I'm super excited. He, like, right after I got picked last night, he FaceTimed me, and we talked for a while. And you know, I got overloaded with several phone calls and text messages, so the conversation was kind of short. I was planning on calling him back today, but yeah, I'm super excited to be able to play with him again.
Hey, Herbert, Christian Clark with Null.com. I saw Nate Oates say this morning he felt like there was, like 10, 15 guys who went ahead of you who he felt like, you're just a better player than. What were your emotions, watching how everything unfolded, and, did you feel a similar way?
I mean, of course, any basketball player would say the same thing, I think. But the emotions, it was crazy. It's hard to describe. I mean, I'm just thankful that, the Pelicans gave me a chance.
Hey, this is Andrew Lopez from ESPN. When you mentioned the shot earlier and that it was going to come with time, how much time have you spent, I guess, in this draft process really working on that? I know you took a jump up last year with your shooting. How much time have you put in on that?
It's every day. That's an everyday thing. It's gotten to a point where now if I don't shoot every day, it feels weird not to go to the gym. So if that gives you an estimate on how much I've been working on it.
I think it does. Thanks.
Herb, Ed from the ABC affiliate in New Orleans here. What do you think it is about the Pelicans? They obviously like Alabama players in what you guys do there in the program. If you had to kind of, capsule that for us, what do you think an Alabama player or players does that makes them NBA ready?
I mean, I feel like we compete. We know how to play basketball. We know how to play good basketball. And we just go out and try to win. We don't really worry about stats. We just, go out and compete as hard as we can and try to get the win.
I heard Rod Walker here with the Times-Picayune. When it comes to defense, I mean, a lot of that is a lot of just effort and want to. Where did that come from for you? And like, when did it first, when did you kind of get that mindset?
It started when I started out playing under my dad, and he gave me two things: just go play defense and get the ball to whoever needed to score. And I knew that was gonna be my way on the court to find minutes, and I just honed in on those skills and try to be the best defender I could be.
What was it like just kind of playing for your dad anyway? I know sometimes that can be tough on guys, but what was it like for you?
Yeah, it was tough at first. Just trying to figure out, my limits. And so some days he would push me, and I think he was crazy, but in the long run, it paid off. So I'm super thankful for him. But yeah, it was fun. He's a competitor himself, so it was some days, he beat me when I was younger, and I just want to keep playing until I won. But yeah, it was super fun playing under my dad.
Last night, Trajan Langdon mentioned that both guys that the team drafted that are bringing in are really excited about coming to New Orleans and coming to the Pelicans. What are some of the reasons why you were looking forward specifically to coming to this team? And is the proximity to where you're from part of that equation, as far as New Orleans not being far from where you grew up?
Somewhat. I feel like it was a blessing that I didn't go too far away to start out, my career. But I mean, the way those guys play, I know they compete. They're young. They know how to play good basketball, and I just love the way those guys compete. That's why I'm super excited to get down there and get to work.
Hey, Herb, last year you started out pretty well shooting from the three-point line, pretty solid the first couple of months, and things trailed off at the end of the year. Can you explain that experience and how it all went for you?
Yeah, it was tough. I wouldn't say anything went wrong. I just missed shots. I continued to work as much as I've been working before, but shots just weren't falling. My confidence didn't go down at all. My shots just wasn't falling.
Thank you.
Hey, Herb, a lot of guys obviously get excited when, you get a chance to play with a guy like Zion. What are your thoughts about him and just having watched him play, I guess, in college and the past couple of years here?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be super fun. I've never seen him play in person, so I'm super excited. Like to see how he plays, see how he moves, see how he communicates with guys. But yeah, man, I'm super excited to get down and get to work with him.
Okay. I want to ask you about your dad. You told me you said you finally beat him. How long did it take for you to beat him?
Whew. I'd say probably around 7th or 8th grade.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, up until that point, it was tough on me.
All right, I think that'll do it for today, Herbert. Really appreciate your time, and can't wait for you to get down here to New Orleans.
Yeah, I'm super excited. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right.